Alright people, this is going to be a more fun, relaxing type of video. I might do the fun, relaxing type of video first, and the more serious video that I filmed before this one probably last. This one's going to be Sex Game Baskin Robbins versus Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Now, I've always wanted to make this YouTube video because it's fun, it's exciting, and it gets back to my true essence of who I really am as a human being. Not just Alexander the big buff guy, or Alexander the filmmaker, or Alexander the superstar that crashes at the Grove, but Alexander the human being with the good human being qualities. Now, what I love about Baskin Robbins ice cream is that they have 31 flavors of ice cream. Like, for me, I love vanilla ice cream. I mean, I really do. As a kid, I loved vanilla. Every time my birthday came up, I couldn't wait for my mom to go to the store and buy me some vanilla ice cream. I mean, I would just eat vanilla ice cream with everything. You gave me some Coca-Cola and vanilla ice cream. When they finally started experimenting with sodas and ice cream, my mom looked at me and said, "You gonna try to take the Coca-Cola out of the refrigerator and mix it with vanilla Coca-Cola, aren't you?" Oh, yes, I am. Loved me some vanilla ice cream. When I was younger, I would take the gummy bears and mix the gummy bears with my vanilla ice cream, because I just loved vanilla ice cream. Every time my birthday came up, I don't care if I was watching Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, basketball, football, professional wrestling. Every now and then when it was my birthday or someone else's birthday, I would always say, "Give me vanilla ice cream." Now, chocolate, as I started to get older, I started to like chocolate ice cream as much as I like vanilla ice cream. And Baskin Robbins, I always wanted to go to Baskin Robbins. That's because my mom went to Baskin Robbins, so I always loved, Baskin Robbins ice cream. I always felt that they had the best ice cream because it was always cold, it was always fresh, and you knew you was going to get good customer service at Baskin Robbins. You just knew that with that type of ice cream, it brings the fun joy. It brings the kid out of you. Like, you could leave work or you could leave school on a bad day and you could have some ice cream. It brought the kid out in you. You didn't focus on, "Oh my God, I gotta pay my bills. Oh, I forgot my cell phone bill. I forgot my cable bill." You ate the ice cream and you turned back into that 10 or 11 or 12-year-old kid, and it brought you back to the time when you were just a little kid and all you could think about was just to have fun. That's all you focus on. It didn't matter if everything was important. It didn't matter if nothing was important. You had fun. So I always loved vanilla ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream, Rocky Road, Napoleon, where they take vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. Oh man, those were the best ice creams in the world. I mean, when they mixed 3 flavors in one, it was like, now that's what I'm talking about. I would eat the strawberry by itself. There was the raspberry, the blueberry, there was blackberry, there was cherry ice cream. I used to frequently mess with cherry ice cream. Of course, my dad loved the butter pecan ice cream, which that was my least favorite because it had too many peanuts in the butter pecan ice cream. There was the walnut ice cream. Then there was chocolate chip mix. And then it was just fudge vanilla ice cream, where it was dark, but it was still chocolate ice cream, just a more colored version of the ice cream. I mean, well, that's a funny way of saying it, but it was a cross between chocolate chip mixed in with another chocolate flavor, and you couldn't really tell the difference. And then there was which one? There's the banana split. Only had that only once. A sundae. My mom's had a sundae like 3 times. I had a sundae once because it's that expensive. There's the banana split, There's the strawberry shortcake. And then they have what they call cake ice cream. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but when I was a kid, I was blown away by the experience. Like, it's cake, but then it's mixed with ice cream. I was like, holy, you know what? I gotta give me some more of this. And those were some good flavors of ice cream. And I'm amazed that it's 2019 and Baskin Robbins is still going strong. Now, have their ice cream and their prices have gone up through the roof through recent times? Yes, it has. Last time I went to a Baskin Robbins ice cream was probably between 2000 to 2004. And then there was one time in 2007 that I went to Baskin Robbins ice cream, and some of my favorite flavors of ice cream, they would sell out really fast. Like chocolate vanilla, they would always sell out. Now, Ben & Jerry's ice cream, only been to Ben & Jerry's maybe only 2 times my whole entire life. The first time when I was still in high school and they took us on a road trip, they would tell us, we'll go to Ben & Jerry's. Because they would say that vanilla, Baskin Robbins ice cream was too expensive. Which, in a way, it kind of was. But if you wanted the best of the best, you're going to have to pay $5, maybe $6, $7. And when I went to a Ben & Jerry's, their ice cream was good. But they would just load it up with so much sugar and carbs that you taste the sugar and carbs, but you never taste the ice cream. Like, when I got their chocolate, they had that real chocolate that was so strong and powerful. That was the one thing that I liked about Ben & Jerry's chocolate ice cream, that it was real. It wasn't fake chocolate, it was that real chocolate. But they would run out of that so fast. The vanilla ice cream, if they left it out too long, it would melt. That was the only thing I didn't like. It would melt into your cup. Or they would run out so fast. And I remember Rite Aid used to be called Thrifties. They used to have good ice cream. Like, if you couldn't go to Ben & Jerry's and if you couldn't go to Baskin Robbins, then you would go to Rite Aid. And Rite Aid was kind of like another alternative. Like, if you went to a Baskin Robbins and it was crowded, like 30 people at Baskin Robbins, you would probably stop and go to another location. You would probably go to 3 locations, and you would get the same result. Everybody and their mom would want Baskin Robbins ice cream because it's the best of the best. You go to Ben & Jerry's, you might find 4 or 5 Ben & Jerry's, and the same result. It's crowded, or it's too far out of your area, and you don't know where a Ben & Jerry's. You could crash at your local store. Like a Rite Aid, back in the day, used to call it Thrifties, but then Rite Aid overtook Thrifties and turned it into Rite Aid, and you would walk in there, and it was just like Baskin Robbins. They had them same flavors. They even had what they call rainbow ice cream, and I'm not lying, and I'm not making fun of the community. They actually had an ice cream called rainbow ice cream. They even had one called French vanilla. They even had one called strawberry vanilla ice cream. And between the French vanilla and the strawberry vanilla, they were like very limited. Because you had to go to a French restaurant to get French vanilla ice cream. Where it was not too strong, but it was light on your stomach. And people loved, that's what I loved about French vanilla ice cream. It wasn't as strong and powerful like the actual vanilla ice cream would. Like if you're allergic to milk, that's why they made French vanilla, where they and then there was soy ice cream. I only tasted that once. It was because it was 2008. I had I met this guy back in 2003, but between 2004 and 2007, he would take me to this herb store where they had soy ice cream. He told me soy ice cream is far better than the regular ice cream, and I kind of thought, I don't know, and then I tried it, and it turned out I liked it. But when you went in the store, again, it would sell out so fast, and those were called alternatives. Now, here's what I love about having fun with ice cream. There's no pressure. You don't have to worry about paying your bills. Like for that moment, paying bills goes away. You ain't worrying about girlfriends. You ain't worried about getting phone numbers. You ain't worrying about what's the score of a basketball game, football game. You ain't focusing on none of that. You eat that ice cream and it brings you back to when you was a kid. Remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ice cream? Them Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ice cream sandwiches? Oh man, I used to go insane for those. I used to always get Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo. I used to have Shredder. Each character was like an ice cream sandwich. And I used to always collect those as collectibles. And my mom would start laughing because I would take the stick figures and try to make the Ninja Turtles fight the bad guys. Same thing when they had the wrestling ice cream sandwiches. They used to have Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan. There was the Undertaker. There was Bret Hart. There was Yokozuna. There was Big Boss Man, Lex Luger. Ice cream sandwiches. They even had the Power Ranger ice cream sandwiches. And I used to collect all of those when I was a kid. I had a good collection. I would take all of them and I would put them in a plastic bag, wash them with soap and water, and then keep them in the plastic bag and keep them as collector's items. But, sad to say, they got damaged and destroyed because one day, on my mom's side of the family tree, we had a great-great-grandmother that passed away of a heart attack or stroke, and we had to move out of that house into the other house. And while packing up and moving, my mom accidentally damaged. She didn't damage. What happened was she put them in her bag because she knew I liked them. And then when we were moving stuff around in the house, I couldn't find them. And then it turns out, on our way to getting over here, the U-Haul truck accidentally, they weren't supposed to unpackage people's luggage, but they said that some stuff was moving around too much in the truck, and they was trying to, zip it back up, and that's how my stuff got missing. Which I eventually got, new ones, a new one, and then it wasn't the same because when I had collected it, at that time, little other kids were paying attention. Like, cool, you got all the Power Ranger, Ninja Turtles, and wrestling ice cream sandwich papers, stick figures, and I used to love those as a kid. Those were like the good days. They even had one for Thundercats, He-Man, Voltron. I used to collect all of them as a kid, and I remember whenever Ninja Turtles came on TV, I'd be in front of the TV eating a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ice cream sandwich. If it was Power Rangers, I was a big fanatical Power Ranger fan. Tomorrow's YouTube video, I'm going to make a video called I Missed the 1980s and the 90s. And guess what? Spoiler alert, I'm going to be talking about Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. But the case was, I was in love with Power Rangers. I would eat the Power Rangers ice cream sandwich when Power Rangers came on. If it was He-Man, I would have an ice cream sandwich for He-Man. And my mom would just sit back, start laughing, because every time the cartoons and the TV shows came on, I always had to have an ice cream sandwich for those shows. It's what you did when I was a kid. Me and 5 other kids thought it was cool to do that. And as time went on, I started to do it less and less because the ice cream trucks came less and less. And then by the time it was 2000, you had to go into those neighborhood stores to even find those. And when I find those, I tried to, try to bring those back, but it was limited. And then they stopped selling those because everyone wanted to buy. Everybody was now going to Baskin Robbins ice cream. So that's why I'm making this whole video about ice cream. Men love ice cream. Women like ice cream. And to me, I think when people eat ice cream, I don't think nobody really focuses on bills. I think you go back to the moment when you was a kid and life was actually really good. You never focused on, oh man, what's the score on the basketball game? What's the score on the football game? You focused on that one moment when you was a kid, life was good. And I noticed some YouTubers don't really make these types of YouTube videos. I mean, I know some Midtowns make videos, but nobody gives the Midtowns credit when they make those videos. I give them credit for it, so I make one of these videos, but I took ice cream in it. Like, if you ask me right now, what is my all-time favorite place to visit for ice cream? Of course, it's going to be Baskin Robbins. I grew up on Baskin Robbins. And Ben and Jerry's, I just happened to go to twice. Now, in recent time, I have never gone to Baskin Robbins because I never get the chance. I'm either going to work, going to school, going to the gym, going to a job interview. But I promise you, sometime this week coming up, I will go to a Baskin Robbins place. Who knows? I might even film it, which I don't think they'll let me film it because you know how they are. Oh, you got to have a film permit. But yeah, I like Baskin Robbins because I grew up on Baskin Robbins ice cream. Ben and Jerry's, I kind of liked it as a teenager. And if you couldn't go to those two, then I would go to Rite Aid as an alternative. So, yeah, I brought ice cream in because everybody loves ice cream. Young and old, black or white, everybody loves ice cream. You could even stop a police officer or a firefighter and befriend them with what? Ice cream. So, and then there's the days when you used to try to sell ice cream. Remember the lemonade stand? There would be one person with a lemonade stand, and it would be another person with ice cream. They would sell you ice cream. And I used to have some fun times with ice cream. Even when I was in high school, there was this one place less than 4.5 blocks from our high school of Westchester High where I used to go buy ice cream up in there. And I remember they used to give Ben and Jerry's and Baskin Robbins a lot of competition for ice cream. I think they call it soul cones or snow cones or whatever ice cream. I forgot the name of it, but they were whooping Baskin Robbins for like almost 8 years in a row. They was putting the smackdown on Baskin Robbins. Like they had ice cream flavors that I didn't even think exist. And then somebody told me, well, this ice cream ain't on the West Coast. This ice cream is from the East Coast. And this ice cream that they got is that real ice cream. I remember somebody tried to make it seem like that Ben and Jerry's and Baskin Robbins ice cream was manufactured and these guys were legit. Well, they were good, but then one day they went bankrupt. Like 2008, 2009, they started to go bankrupt. And the ice cream place I used to go to, they weren't there no more because they went bankrupt. And then Baskin Robbins got back on top. Ben and Jerry's got back on top and started dominating when it came to, you should come get our ice cream. So those were the fun times. I think every time I had ice cream, those were like, I never worried about it. Even if you got rejected 15, 20 times by a woman, you stopped worrying about rejection. I think that's the only time as a man you be like, I ain't gonna worry about getting rejected by these women because ice cream got my back. So I thought I'd just make a video about ice cream. I know some of y'all probably scratching your head, but hey, when you talk about ice cream, I talk about ice cream because what YouTuber you know makes a video talking about his fun times as a kid with ice cream. Until then, peace.